Ladies and gentlemen, got a special video for today. We will be doing an easy to hard tier list for those who are thinking about playing Fatal Fury and you might be confused on what character you feel that you should play if you're new to this game. So if you feel like you're gonna roast us in the comments, guess what? We don't care. Enjoy the video. Hey, yo, and man, let's go ahead and get it popping with my boy Kelvin, man. With my good buddy, my best friend, good buddy old pal, Kelvin.
Hello.
How you doing today, bro? I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Ready to talk about this this upcoming game and lay down some legacy knowledge to see if we can try to piece together what maybe some characters we can pick up and go with, and what some characters we may want to have a little caution about. But yeah, we're gonna figure that out together and kind of go through it. I do want to preface though, this is old knowledge from Mark of the Wolves and a little bit of KOF.
So, Kelvin, I am new to fighting games, right? And I see a wide variety of characters between close range, mid range, and of course those zoners. So, Kelvin, first on the list is Rock Howard.
Hey, good. So, this one, not you are laughing. Alright, this one seems to be pretty straightforward. A lot of people have already tried him during the beta. He's the protagonist of the series at this point in time of Fatal Fury. Terry is around, but Rock is really the one who's going to be carrying the torch from this point forward. So he's going to be your introductory character to this SNK style game. He's got everything that you're going to need. He's really all around when it comes to having fireball, having a DP, having hot pressure, jump pressure. He has pretty decent normals. Some of his normals can be a bit stubby, but you know they're still good for what they are. And he does have even a couple things that you can use for things like setup, grab, mix, that kind of thing. And I do want to stress that Rock does have some intricacies that can cause him to be not necessarily the easiest in the game, but overall his kit can be played by almost anyone if you ever played any other fighting game.
If you're coming from other fighting games and you're new to Fatal Fury, I could definitely feel that Rock could be somebody's first look, because he looks straightforward just look wise. I'm okay to say easy because I've played him in the beta. Some other people might think different, but I feel that he can be a traditional character that somebody could get into the game and pick up for sure. The number 2, Big Terry to the BOGARD.
Yes, so very much like Rock in a way. In fact, if anything, he's even more simplified. He is definitely going to be the Ryu of the game. Very traditional when it comes to most of his inputs. He doesn't have too many complications when it comes to his combo system. He can play pretty unga bunga if he wants to, though he does have some pretty intricacies when it comes to the new mechanics of the game. And he also has some really good normals. Normals are pretty long, so even if you just poke with him, he's gonna do what he needs to do.
That's basically coming with the full package of fireball,
yes,
good normals, crack shoot, which
fireball,
is good.
good normals, DP, the whole 9 yards.
All right, nice. And just to throw it in there for a little offset for the topic, comparing Terry to Street Fighter 6 and Terry to Fatal Fury, I can honestly say, and this might sound a little biased because I come from Street Fighter, but visual effect, animation wise, I think the Street Fighter 6 Terry is better than the Fatal Fury, because looking at triple geyser and Street Fighter 6 is definitely like more appealing. It gets me amped compared to looking at it in Fatal Fury. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I haven't seen it enough in Fatal Fury. Maybe I haven't just grown up playing these games, but it just looks... It looks weird. Character number 3, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think it's HOTARU.
She is a cutesy character that has a lot of potential in the game. I did not play her a lot during the beta. I know a lot of my friends who have, though. She does play pretty similar to what she used to play like in some of the earlier games. Basically, pretty good on a lot of her combo structuring, but her conversions don't lead to a lot of damage. So she does have to play a kind of jump in and jump out kind of game style. bit of a strike throw in certain situations, and just making sure that you keep moving with her. Because of that, and because of how some of her specials actually work, I would probably put her more. I mean, to me, she's still pretty easy, but I'm not too sure if I would just say, yeah, go ahead and mash buttons with her. I don't think she's really that type of character. So if I look at it from that aspect, I would think she may be the lower end of medium, close to easy, but like maybe more on the medium side compared to some other characters.
So she's gonna be like the stick and move, pick your spots, keep proper spacing to make sure you don't get touched, annoy your opponent as much as possible.
Yes, that's definitely going to be her overall gameplay style, and also keep in mind that you're not going to be doing like a lot of damage usually.
TIZOC. Now, they did. Now, of course, this character was not in the beta, but they recently dropped the character breakdown. No, my bad. I'm lying. This character was in the second beta.
Second beta.
Yeah, was in the second beta, but they did also drop the character breakdown. So this is the grappler of the game. Look like he's gonna have mid-range mix between lunging and command grabbing. So based off of that, Kelvin, what you think?
So, so it's always a little bit trickier when it comes to grapplers.
Right.
So he can, and here's the thing about TIZOC. He's actually got a lot of the best qualities of a grappler. He has a lot of options that you can do with his grapples. He can grab in the air. He has a lot of options to do setups to make sure that he can do some of his grabs in like these new chains that he has, because the chains in the beta were crazy. Like, it's kind of interesting to watch because you never really see like a grappler be able to chain into a move, into another move and then finish with a grapple. But he can do that now, and in my opinion, I do think that he's one of the easier grapplers to play, just because of the fact that he has a lot more options and you don't have to really fight your way in like some other grapplers.
So, and that's another thing, the inputs that you mentioned, Fatal Fury, from what I've seen so far, they don't believe in having shortcuts. So you either do the input the right way or you don't get it. Or you could be using the simple or easy controls that the game come with. So if you're not used to doing 360 or half circles, this character could be challenging for you. So gravitate in medium for now, for sure. This is actually a character that I'm interested in. Like, not even talking about difficulty, just the fact that she's a Muay Thai kickboxer. She got a step back, so she got the overhead low. So just for the mix, as a new player, even for her character design, I would draw interest to her because of just who she is. But with that being said, I don't know if she's easy or hard. So, Kelvin?
Okay. So I'm gonna say it like this. From the little I've played of her in the beta, and from the reactions I was getting from some of my friends who also played the beta pretty heavily with her, the character does still feel pretty easy.
She needs DP break on most of her combos, and she's pretty straightforward character overall.
Well, I'm leaning a lot towards easy, but again, I just don't know 100% that I didn't play her a lot. So I don't want to be really just definite in my answer. But from what I played, she seemed easy.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure if people, all right, I'm going to say this very straightforward. If people feel like we are wrong, then I'm pretty sure Kelvin, they're going to light us up in the comments. All right. They won't hold back nothing. They will let us know. Right, these mother lovers are ruthless. They don't care. So
it's fine. Fine. Good engagement.
Yes.
Go and tell us what you think in the comments down below.
So yes, she's gonna go in easy for now. I completely do not know who this is.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do I put this? So he is a old school character from Mark of the Wolves. In the US, we actually know him as Mr. Butt. He is essentially the stand-in for a character that is also known as Mr. Karate. He's a pretty good, strong character, has a lot of good offensive pressure, and very damaging, even without meter. The only thing I would say about him is that you kind of had to like play up close to kind of get your pressure going, because you didn't have like a lot of far-reaching normals there. Like some of his normals are fine, but some of them are just kind of stubbier than what you would think. But overall, very strong character, and in my opinion, he's probably going to be one of the tops in the game. It's hard to really say if he's going to be easy, because before he was just he's strong in general, so he's kind of easy because of that aspect. I don't want to. I guess, I mean, his piece probably should be in question mark. I would lean towards easy, just because he's still very short of life.
Moving on to the next character, we got JENET. JENET.
A couple of things that are really special about her. One, her fireball doesn't necessarily travel really quickly. It can be kind of slow depending what speed that you use, and it travels along the ground, but it still has enough height to block most other fireballs. So because of that, it's actually pretty strong, because it can stay on the screen and kind of, you know, make sure to kind of keep you at bay if need be. She also does have a lot of moves that can either catch you in the air, put herself in the air to get out of danger, or just combo you pretty easily. I'm going to lean more towards a medium, but then again, honestly, she's not. I wouldn't say she's really hard either. If I'm being honest. So
when you say air movement, not just the traditional high jump, high jump, lower end jump, but she actually has air movement.
Right. So instead of just jumps and hops, she also has specials that put her in the air. To me, yeah, she's probably on the lower end of medium. She's
the one that be twirling, right? Vox. All right. So I think I've said this a few times. I've also heard this a few times. People have told me I would like Vox. Now, I don't see the comparison or where people feel like I would play him, but the Vox that I have fought, he seems like a record character with a dive kick and a fireball that doesn't travel full swing. I think he got the blast, right? What you think on that? Because I haven't labbed him at all.
So it's interesting, because Vox, I would say, isn't hard to execute his moves or anything of that nature. He's actually pretty straightforward in a lot of his setups. That being said, what makes him special is his conversions. So in this game, he has some of the best conversions, even without any meter, that I've played so far for the beta. I played, the beta. The reason why a lot of people, I believe, say that you would like him is because of the style that he plays. He can play pretty grounded, and he's really good when it comes to being rewarded for doing things like with punishing.
All right, so he's going to be the type of character that's looking to control the mid game and punish somebody for overextending and doing something that they shouldn't have done, basically. He's kind of like Karen, where you got to be good at certain fighting game basics to unlock his potential. Okay, I mean,
whoever said that, yes. Very much so, yes.
We put him in medium. I mean, he definitely don't sound easy. This is who I wanted to talk about right here. Now, Kelvin, why you never told me about Kevin, bro?
Kevin is cool. Kevin is strong. And Kevin in the last game was top 1. That being said, he's so strong, or at least he was so strong in the last game, that I don't know if they're going to make him as strong in this game. I've not played him in this game. I don't even know what his inputs are relative in this new game, because I don't think they even came out with a character guide for him or anything yet.
They did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, see, that's why, and not to cut you off, that's why I was saying, like, why I didn't find out about Kevin, because when I looked at his character breakdown, he gave me Ralph vibes. He gave me the vibes that I was looking for in a character, that mid-range control, and then it looked like his option where he kind of like do a backhand, he could charge it, and then he could go either forward or overhead. I'm like, bro. And then along with that, he could feint it. I'm like, nah, this character's nasty. This character is nasty. So, from a new player's perspective, as always, Kelvin, what you think?
He has a lot of cool mechanics that I don't think are necessarily super intuitive, but he's also so strong, especially in the last game, that I would tell new people to pick him up anyway. He's probably easy. I'm gonna say medium because of just the overwhelming mechanics that he has, at least from the last game and likely into this game.
I know for sure from what I've seen in the character breakdown, he has the combat role that allows him to get around fireballs, and I think with the rev version he side switches, so he was kind of giving me Abel vibes from Street Fighter 4. Okay, so based off your previous game knowledge, he's safe to go in medium?
I'm gonna say medium because he has a lot of options.
Okay.
And a lot of new players can probably get overwhelmed with all the options that he has, but they're good options. So, and they're not necessarily super complex. It's just a lot of them. So
the zoner of the game, Billy Kane, beat stick.
He's got a lot of zoning options. Most of them, from my understanding, are pretty much straightforward. Pokes that can lead into conversions, that can lead into combos. And when it comes to Billy, I mean, he's fun in general, especially pretty good if you want to play a little bit of keep away. He does have some options for, if he needs to get in, that he can get in, but he really is going to be more focused on keeping an opponent back and poking and getting them out the air, anti-air, and making sure that they don't keep hopping on him.
Right.
That kind of thing.
As easy as that sounds to us, right? Keep away, keep them out the air, and just keep them away, right? That's easy for us. But I feel like most new people, they tend to struggle with that.
I would probably say that he's going to be not easy to play.
Because, like I said, man, for us, 1, 2, 3, you about to jump, boom, right? We know when we done poked X amount of times that a jump has a higher % of happening right now. So we know when to calm down, when to look for the jump, when to just bait you out, when to just chill, right? So yeah, it makes sense for us to understand that general game plan, but a newer player will probably just want to constantly press, and then as soon as they go for anti-air, they'll be like, why I can't anti-air? Oh, I was still stuck in recovery from the move that I just threw previously.
If you're just poking randomly, you are going to get beat up.
He would definitely be a hard character to play 100%. Billy feels strong, but not easy by any stretch. Wow.
Him being our first hard probably will work.
Yep, first character going to hard. I'm gonna just throw this out here. I cannot stand this character solely based upon her presence in Street Fighter 6.
Why was that needed? Wait a minute.
It's just something about looking at her picture, and it just made me have nightmares just now about her presence in Street Fighter 6.
I don't think that Mai is very difficult. I don't think she's necessarily easy either, though. But the way that she works is that she's going to be basically the pressure with her projectile, really kind of get to annoy you, get you to do things like jump, get you to do things like kind of block to kind of really start her pressure going, get her throws going. But how do you feel about her in Street Fighter 6? do you feel like she's an easy character to kind of pick up and play?
To pick up and just throw EX fan. That's it. I mean, just
it's not just EX fans.
I mean, if we're being honest, the game is based around offense and pressure, right? So if you're sitting mid-screen or even far range, throw some projectiles, and if you feel like you're tired of sitting at that range, just throw an EX fan, then walk behind it, then boom, you're in.
All right, that fair. All right, fair. Fair. Okay, all right, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna lean towards. I would lean towards her being on the upper half of easy. Going into medium, we could probably put her in the easy category still, though, if we're being real. It's still not hard, but
I don't know this next character name, but I think this is the one that's similar to Orangutan in Tekken.
Pressure you with really good normals. He has likely really good reach on a lot of his kicks and attacks, just like the last game. He's going to be able to do a lot of things that are pretty easy for input, quarter circles. He does have a DP, but yeah, his main thing is going to be to pressure you with normals and then kind of get you on a I want to say necessarily like a rush down, but you can play a rush down style for sure. Like he's gonna come at you. So if you want to think about it light second, just like how Warren can kind of really overwhelm you with the kicks and the specials and all the moves that he kind of has, this character is in a very similar way can also do the same thing. Also technically the same way with Jury, because Jury also does play, sorry, not play, but uses a martial art, Taekwondo. So a lot of kicks, a lot of combos, a lot of options that you're going to be able to do with the character.
Sound like it might be easy.
Yeah, probably going to say easy. Probably should put him as a question mark though, because again, in this game he may be a bit different, but I'm going to lean towards easy.
All right, GATO. Okay, so I think it's safe to say hard, right? Because most of the time stance characters are not easy.
I'm definitely going to say that GATO is hard. He's going to be our first definite hard character. Execution isn't necessarily crazy, but his stance options are very overwhelming, and they all do very different things. Just very, very different things. You're not going to use one 90% of the time because it covers everything for you. That's not how GATO plays. He is going to want to get you into the corner. That's where he's going to get most of his damage at, and his corner combos are going to be extremely damaging, likely. That being said, usually those corner combos are pretty difficult to execute.
Right.
In general. So even, not even just his neutral, but just his combo game, a lot of his movements, a lot of his stance options, I do think he's going to be a pretty definite hard character.
Yeah, I think this is probably a no-brainer. And I say it hard mainly because from most fighting games, any stance character is just not easy. That goes for GAN in Street Fighter 4, the stance characters in Tekken, Street Fighter, like just across all fighting games, stance characters are going to give you a run for your money if you plan on playing that character. KANE. Now, from what I've seen with this character, you know, Chris G was playing him in the beta. This character looks pretty tricky, right?
Yes.
His combo, I think it's his, whichever the super is that throws the ball on the map, and then yeah, so he definitely looks pretty heavy on execution just from watching gameplay. Without me knowing too much information, because I haven't touched the character, but I feel like this character might go in either hard or medium. But that's just me taking a wild dart and throwing it.
Pretty strong set play. Very, very strong character overall. Very strong zoning in general.
Right.
Just able to keep you out. Make sure
Facts.
that, you know, you have to get around all his fireball options, his ability to actually call the fireball into the middle of the screen and have it just sit in one spot. Now, granted, from what I've played on him, he didn't seem like he was ready to pick up a play. He doesn't necessarily, he's not like weak when he's up close per se, but he's definitely something you have to really kind of put your mind to really make work, in my opinion. So I would lean towards the upper medium, probably going into hard.
Most of the time when playing a zoner, that goes back to having to have a read on your opponent, understanding what they're doing, you know, having that mindset of when they want to take a chance, when they want to jump. So adding that on with set play and execution, I'm okay with putting the character in hard. Alright, so the last three, of course, are the recent additions. So Mr. GOAT himself, Mr. Hall of Fame, Ronaldo, soccer player. I think, well, personally, you know, we didn't even get a chance to play these characters. So this is just going to be an open up opinion regardless. You know, we've seen, you know, well, for those who have seen it, you know, Diphone had a real strong presence with this character at the Evo tournament. I mean, yeah, Kelvin, he looked like he's going to be interesting, you know.
Yeah, I think personally he's going to probably end up in like a medium category just because he does have a stance that you really have to play out of. And the set play, you know, the set play is set play. That's going to be something that you really can't kind of pick up and play.
Right.
But he did seem to have some pretty decently easy inputs. And, you know, of course, the soccer ball being pretty much the fireball is always nice. So I think he'll end up there. But he's a complete question mark for me, obviously. He's brand new to the series, I never touched him in my fighting career, obviously.
Right.
So no clue. So yeah, I would just put him in question mark and call that a day.
Yeah, I think that's the safe bet. The DJ, Salvatore, another character that we seen the reveal on. I think he's lame, in my opinion. I don't have any interest in him whatsoever. You know, other people might see different, but that's just my personal, you know, 3 pennies. From the gameplay that we've seen at that same event at Evo, he looked like he's a troll style character with multi-hit jump moves, like a floaty jump back, just moving around weird. So he's definitely giving me troll vibes, but you know, he's a character at the same time, so he can still mix you, put you in sticky situations, and just force you to guess, right? But I'm getting troll vibes from him.
Personally, most jokey characters are not very strong or have very complex hits despite them being jokey.
Right.
So I personally think he's probably going to actually end up more on the harder side of being able to play. Just because, again, he's going to be very unconventional. Some of his moves are going to look very weird. Maybe not understand how they work or connect just off rip. But he's funny to watch, and that's going to be very interesting. And definitely a complete question mark for me at the end of the day, because I've obviously never touched him either. And he's not been in any other fighting game that I know of. So
I think it's safe to go with question mark, because, you know, these are the last 3 characters that we didn't get to tamper with at all.
So the very last character I can say, because he was in the last game, he's, I want to say, the student officially of Mize. He's a lot more like, if you ever played Chip from Guilty Gear, he's one of those type of characters.
Oh my god.
A lot of fast options. Yeah. Well, don't freak out. A lot of fast options, an air throw, good air options. He even had a double jump, which is interesting because I think he was the only character in the last game that could actually do a double jump, which is pretty cool. But because of that, you know, he had very poor damage. His conversion options were, and he did have things like kind of like low defense,
right?
Which I don't know if that's going to play an aspect in this game as much. Now that he's a bit older and they probably changed his kit around a bit. But yeah, he's going to be very interesting. I would definitely probably put him more towards either medium or hard, just because of the fact that he does have both my and Andy's kit to it. Because again,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's stubby, and you gotta have to learn how to move with him. He's gonna be moving really quickly. Learning how to do his additional jump arc, if he does have a double jump in this new game, that's gonna be interesting. So we'll see. But I definitely think he's gonna be on the medium to harder side.
Well, that pretty much wraps up the last character. So we got 4 characters in easy. We have Rock Howard, Terry, Mr. Karate Man, I think he said, Mai, medium, HOTARU, TIZOC, PREECHA, JENET, Vox, Kevin, the Ninja. Hard, we got Billy Kane, Gato, and KANE. Question mark, 3 characters, of course, Ronaldo, Salvatore, and the kick person. I don't know his name. If you made it to the end of the video, I truly do appreciate you for sticking out this far. But this was a video based off of prior knowledge from Kelvin. He's played a lot of fighting games. He's pretty experienced with most of these games, so we use that to put together an easy to hard character tier list that I feel like most people, and it's gonna happen, people are gonna come to the stream, people are gonna come to the comments, and they're gonna ask, who should I consider playing? I'm new to Fatal Fury. I never played a game like this. Who should I think about playing? This is the, oops, hit the mic. This is the purpose of this video. We're giving them a leeway, some recognition to help them pick a character that we are also going to be trying to find. Because I'm leaning towards 4 or 5 characters. I'm kind of in the same boat with y'all. So try not to roast us too hard in the comments. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen because we can't control y'all. Y'all going to do it anyway. But just think about the fact that we tried, all right? So leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to put Kelvin's comment, my bad, Kelvin's links in the description because he's going to be streaming this game very soon. Ain't that right, Kelvin?
Like, comment, and subscribe to Nightmare, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you having me on.
And we out.